here for any photos or anything you want to share what's going on in your life. arcs.recognition@gmail.com. Joyce, I don't know if you'd like to lead this, or if I took your photos that...
Well, there's only one without photos, so I'll go ahead and say that. Brian, you want to go ahead and say your stuff, and then you can run the photos.
Okay.
So, I actually have two. So I was, my leader was just promoted, and I'm going to be assuming his position at Edward Jones. So I'll be responsible for branch development planning for Northern California for Edward Jones. So that's exciting. Which means lots more trips to Tempe and St. Louis and Redding and all these great, exciting places. And then I don't know if he was planning on sharing, but...
I was.
All right, I'll let you go. Well, I'm very proud of Brandon. He's done a phenomenal job, and he just opened up his own branch in McKinleyville.
Oh, yeah! Yesterday was my first day in my new branch. It's the one in the Safeway Shopping Center, so that gentleman's no longer there, and they needed somebody to lead that branch, so I was handpicked with Brian's help, obviously, and so that's where I'm at now. I know.
So, quite a few August birthdays. Terri, what did you do for your birthday?
I share a birthday with Romi.
Yay.
Mine came way before hers, but you know, share the date anyway.
You only age like half a year.
There you go. We went to Larapin for dinner. Our friend Janet wanted to take us out for dinner on my birthday, and so she did, and we took another friend with us. And it was really nice, and I kind of celebrate, you know, all month long. So it's only the 30th, so if you meant to get me a gift and haven't yet,
we were camping. I was with my family, my cousin from Miami, her little kids, Jessica, my brother, her sister, and the 7 kids. So Jessica, so our family, from our time in Mexico when the girls were little, we always wake up our girls with, they get woken up with estas son las mañanitas and cake, and they used to think it was great because they got to eat cake for breakfast. And so when you start those traditions, they come back at you. And so Lady Jessica rounded up all the littles, and at sunrise, I get a little knock, knock, knock on our Volkswagen van, which we camp in. I open it with all the kids, and Jessica leading them, all singing happy birthday and handing me cookies. And then we came home to Sunday dinner with family, and it was wonderful.
Yeah, I am my last year in my 30s. I spend my birthday every single year of professional development, so it's always the week before I see kids. So that's not super fun, but we did do a backpacking trip that we were supposed to go with the McHaneys. But instead we went with some other neighbors, and we had a great time. My 8-year-old turned 9 in the Trinities, and we did the Canyon Creek Trail. It was a lot of fun.
You had a birthday as well?
Well, actually, I've not had it yet. Today's the 30th, and my birthday is on the 31st. My mother always said I should have waited one more day, because then it would have been on Labor Day. So I haven't had it yet. The way that I'm celebrating my birthday is I haven't figured it out yet, because my wife is at the sailing regatta up at Big Lagoon, and was going to go backpacking this weekend, but I'm not sure I'm going to do that. My vertigo is making it so my head doesn't feel so great right now. So I will report next week what I did on my birthday.
There you go.
I'm sorry, use your time.
Yeah, your time.
Here.
I already had my birthday present. It was our trip to Europe. My birthday was on August 10th. And my son, Noah, and my daughter, Sarah, who live in Oregon, both of them remembered. And my wife also remembered, of course. So that's what really counts. My brother George, who lives back east and is very much an Easterner, he got around to calling me yesterday. So life is good.
So my birthday's the day after Howard's, the 11th. It was a Sunday. We had a wedding on Saturday before, so it's ever a good day to wake up and maybe you've had a few too many the night before. It's your birthday. My wife's like, kids, get out of here. Leave your father alone. It's great. We had brunch at campground, and then we had our first softball game of the season that a number of us here on the team floor, and we won that game, so it's a good birthday.
Yeah.
And then last but not least,
my birthday's on Tuesday, and I got to work on my birthday, so that was fun. Other than that, my family came over. We had about 15 people at our house. It was beautiful outside, so we had a barbecue. My grandma came by and she made me an ice cream cake that she used to make when I was a kid, so I probably haven't had it in over 15 years. And then the picture here is me and my mom went to Moonstone. It was my first time at Moonstone Grill, and I really love it, and I recommend it. We normally go to Larapin, like Terri, but I also want to point out that I used to work with Terri, and I do celebrate my birthday all month long as well.
I think this might be the first and only time that I get everybody on board. So I think that deserves to take a round of a happy birthday here.
Well, I think so too. Sadly, Romy, I don't have cookies, but we'll all sing together.
Thanks, Michelle, for a great breakfast.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rotarians. Happy birthday to you.
So moving on with a couple more recognitions. There's a little story behind this.
Rachel, go ahead. This was our first time celebrating Rachel as a Ferndale wife, is what I said. We all went to the fair, and then we went out to a nice dinner afterwards, and Casey met up with us, Rachel's new husband, and we had a great time.
Rita.
Rita. Oh yeah, Rita was there.
I think this was that Rotary night on Friday.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's what you were. No, so he's been putting up Rotary Picture Day, right, for like the last 2 months, and it's not till October. Well, lo and behold, I get to the fair, and there's a big Rotary sign. I'm like, oh, Rotary Day, and you're Rotarian? Yeah. Do you have your pin? Bad Rotarian, no. Do you have any, look at my phone. Oh, Rotary Club of Arcade at Sunrise, there's a picture, make it real big, and I go, that's me. Come on in. So it's a good reason to be at Picture Day if you needed one.
Thank you. And Joyce.
That's not me. That's not the one.
No, this
That's my one.
There we go. And that was Lori's photo?
Yeah, that was Lori's photo last.
Let's start with that one.
Woohoo! We have a wedding. Yeah, a lot of you know Megan. She literally grew up in this club, coming most Fridays while she was in high school. She got engaged in July. They were in Tahoe on the brand new trail between Incline and Sand Beach, and he finally got down on his knee and proposed. They've been dating for 4 years, so we were ready. And yesterday they set a date. It's going to be in Reno, June 13th. Woo!
There's been a lot of weddings this season.
Yeah, there's one.
So this will be this will.
Okay, there's no sound. So this is Keela, who also grew up in the club for the most part. Didn't come as much in high school, but was when she was a little came. Oh, this is Lacey, not Keela. Got my wrong child. Oh gosh, Lacey did too. So I did a quick. It's not very long, but so this is my husband Steve walking Lacey down the aisle. She married Casey Coryell, who's a local guy. They went to high school together, and it's no big surprise because Casey tells the story. He asked her out their junior year, and she told him no, that he was too much of a player and didn't really want to date him. They wanted to be his friend. And so they went on to college, lived their own lives, made their own friends. And then her last year of college, his 5th year, because he did the 5-year Chico business construction program, he emailed her, or they kept in touch social media, didn't email, and said, you want to go to a Giants game? And she said, no, but if you want to be my date at my sorority, formal, then come on, and that started the whole thing. These are a bunch of little cousins. The one that's, the little girl that's the last one on the left is also Mark Burchett's granddaughter. So got married at the Bluff, so that's inside. And then we made the signs, that was silly, just so you know. What they charge on Etsy is a deal. Actually, no, I didn't. So, and Dustin was there, he's the bartender. And he kept everybody in line. In fact, at the end he was great because there was about 6 people that wanted to keep partying all night, and Dustin took the 4 drunkest home.
Were they all female?
And the funny part about that was, there's only one female in the group, and people drop the F-bomb all the time now, kind of you get used to it, but I don't know how much she talked to the car, but literally out of 10 words, there was like 6 of them were the F-bomb all the way through, and it's like, it finally, what are you doing? Yeah, say words! Is that an adjective and noun? What are you using that as? Dustin was a trooper because there was, I took 2 home that were staying in Ferndale, and there was 4 left, and Dustin's like, I don't have room, seatbelts, and it's like, yeah, between drunk people driving and you having them in the back of your car, so he was a saint. So anyway, it was a great day. It was a great day. No, I didn't even get out of jail free card, but I think he would have made it through anything. But anyway, it was a great day, and Lacey and Casey were very happy.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you, I was hoping Melinda was here for a story here, but she didn't make it today. Here's a nice fun photo.
Can you tell whose idea that was?
Casey's for sure.
And then I'll throw in a little bit of recognition myself. I competed in that surf and turf competition. Our chicken placed second.
Wow.
A lot of fun. It was a lot of hard work, but it was a great day. And I think all of our presentations came out pretty nice. But we got scorecards just yet last night, and we were just behind 4th in a lot of those other categories. So a couple of weeks, we'll get some additional prizes there next year. Karen,
my daughter and her husband ran the Hood to Coast. They ran a relay team, 199 miles last weekend. It was one of his landmark birthday days, so I think he was proud to be able to do it. He's done it before, and part of it is to raise funds for cancer, so they've been doing it. He's been doing it for several years. I was up in the middle of the night following them on an app called Race Joy. If they have their phone on, you can follow where they're at, and they both took middle of the night segments of the race. So it was pretty fun to follow it, even though I couldn't be there. Oh, and they've signed up for another 10K race at the end of October.
Nice.
Before this, they signed up, or after this? They signed up?
After, yeah.
So last weekend, it was pointed out to me that Dan, one of our members, has been making makeups at another Rotary
He presented on the 19th to Rotary of Eureka.
So I put his phone number in case you want to razz him a little bit. Text him and let him know that I guess we're thinking about him.
And now those of you who've never met him, you know what he looks like.
Yeah. And Patty, do you want to share something
Sure.
happening?
Wow, okay.
Also, I didn't get a chance during announcements, but I was tasked, I guess now I'm on the fellowship committee. That was my first meeting, and they're very active. There's going to be a social, taking advantage of the last little bits of summer. I don't like that right there.
Sorry. I always encourage people to go up there, but
anyway, we're going to do a night on the Mattakit, September 11th. It's a Wednesday. And so you have to go online to Humboldt Bay Maritime Museum and reserve your own tickets. It's $10, and it's a cocktail cruise at 5:30, so hopefully everyone can join. It's just a 1-hour cruise, so a little after work. But this is my youngest son, Remy, who's 16. It's his podcast. It's called Crippled by Questions. And he started it last school year with 2 fellow students. They go to St. Bernard's. And quick backstory, he was an athlete and he was injured his freshman year in football and was unable to play sports both his freshman and sophomore years. And he kind of found other passions, so this was one of them. And Dan Johnson is he has time to head up the leadership program at St. Bernard's, so he's there 2 early mornings a week. So if we ever want to crash leadership, I thought that would be something fun we could do and razz Dan. But anyway, so one of their final podcasts is they interviewed Dan and about his life story and his career, and Dan always gives great wisdom on leadership and success, his success story. So if you go to Crippled by Questions on SoundCloud, Himalaya, they have an Instagram account and a website, and you can listen to this podcast. It's pretty great. So thank you.
Thanks, Patty. One result of our Makeup Monday opportunity, I don't know if you would be interested in sharing it all, just an idea that we are maybe still working with, but nothing's really finalized. But
which one? We had a couple, right?
Amazing how those ideas flow.
Yeah.
But I guess on this topic.
Oh yeah, Patty.
Well, I wasn't going to call you out, but
no, you should,
go
because
for it.
we're going to try to start a Rotary podcast with her son producing it, and we'll get together and interview Rotarians about certain topics and their Rotary experience and life and unique stuff. So we're going to start that here hopefully within the next month. I want to say maybe sooner, and get that going. So that came out of the fellowship night, which is really fun because Patty got to tell me a little more about the story and what she's done, and she was doing the videos and stuff for sports, and it was really interesting to hear, and we kind of like, well, let's do this, let's think about it. So anyway, that came out of the fellowship night. So yeah.
Nice. See, work gets done. See.